Okay, so today we're going to go over my eyeshadow palette collection. Here are just a few of what I have. Okay, so first we're going to start off with the smallest palettes and work our way up to the larger palettes. So this little beauty right here I got from Burlington Coat Factory. It is by Physicians Formula and it is the palette for blue eyes. It's shimmer strips. And I love to use these as a pop of shimmer on my lids. Every color in here is a shimmer. There are no mattes in this, so these are really good to use, like I said, for your inner corner highlights and also for your lid. So that's what I use this palette for. Really good quality, good pigmentation in that palette. Next up is the number 4 Mood Struck Addiction Shadow Palette by Unique. I did not purchase this one. This one was given to me by a sweet subscriber, Amy. Hi Amy, how are you doing? So I just want to show you guys this palette and how beautiful it is. It has some great fall colors in there. A few mattes. You get your couple of shimmer shades and then some of your blue colors right there. So you have browns, blues. This is a good highlighter shade for your inner corner or your brow bone, and these two look great on your lids. So this is a nice little palette to have. The pigmentation is wonderful. It doesn't blend as nicely as some of the other palettes that I have, but it does blend. You just have to work with it a little bit. So I really enjoyed using this palette. I've done a couple of looks with it and so far I've enjoyed it. So there you go. I believe this retails for $49. And then the Physicians Formula, I think I paid $3 for it. Okay, so moving on. Again, I did not pay for these two palettes. These are Sugar Peel palettes. My oldest daughter gave these to me. She used to do eyeshadows and wear lots and lots and lots of different colors and makeup and stuff, but she doesn't wear so much anymore. These have been used quite a bit. She's even showing pan in this one right here. It's a very nice white for your brow bone or your inner corner as well. And then you have your very bright pops of color right there. These I would normally just use for maybe Halloween looks, something like that. So these would be great Halloween palettes. But for me to wear every day, no, I would not. But the pigmentation on these are bar none the best. Like they are spot on. This is another one. And again, perfect for Halloween looks, but for an everyday eye look, definitely not my colors, you guys. But yes, for Halloween, these are great to use for that. So I might be using those this year. Okay, so moving on. This is a palette that I purchased at Sephora. It's one of their small eyeshadow palettes, and it's called Wonderful Dreams. I believe it has a blush and maybe a contour. No, this is just shadow. Okay, so you have a foiled shadow and 3 shimmers, and then you have a couple of mattes. These two, well, it looks like these 3 matte shades right here, here, and here have a little bit of glitter mixed in with them, but you can't really see that once you get it on the eye. This is a great palette for any kind of holiday look if you want to keep it natural and sophisticated. In my opinion, it's a very nice go-to everyday look as well. So those are really nice pigmentation. I think I paid $19 for this one. And then I also picked up the bigger palette from Sephora as well. It's called Wishes Come True. This one does have the blush and highlighter and contour in here, or bronzer or whatever in here as well. Some of the similar shades as what's in the smaller palette are in here. Very nice colors, very nice pigmentation. It's a nice go-to palette. It's a nice travel palette because you can just push it closed and throw it in your purse, and you pretty much have a blush, bronzer, highlighter, and shadow case right here in the palm of your hand. So that's what I use this one for a lot. If I'm traveling, I'll just throw that one in my bag. Next up is this one is one of my all-time favorites. This is the Tartlet in Bloom. This palette is so good, you guys. So good. Let me see if I can turn it around and show it without blinding you guys. It's going to be hard to do because their mirrors are so big in here. There we go. Okay. Beautiful brown tones in here. You get a couple of really dark browns. You get a foiled brown shade and a couple of shimmers. Some really nice transition colors. This is a wonderful palette. And to me, the best part about this palette is the smell. Even though the eyeshadow is great, the pigmentation is wonderful, the smell of this palette is so good. It smells like cocoa, and I just love it. Every time I open it, I just love to smell that palette. And this is another Tarte palette. This is the Tartlet. This was the very first original Tartlet that came out. And the colors in here are a little bit more on the nude natural side. Very similar to the Tartlet in Bloom, only this palette is a complete matte palette. There are no shimmers in this palette at all. These are wonderful transition colors to use. Crease colors as well. You can do many eye looks with this palette, from a very light natural look to a very dark smoked out look. So very great palette to have. If you don't have these two in your collection, I would suggest that you go get them because they're worth every penny. They retail for $49 and I think they're very worth it. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to Makeup Revolution. I got a couple palettes from them. This one is their just a standard Makeup Revolution. Oh, this is the Neutral versus Neutrals palette. And you have a lot of peach tones, browns, a few mauves, some grays and blacks mixed in there as well. You've got a few foiled colors, some shimmers, and some mattes. So you can create many looks with this palette as well. I believe this retails, oops, almost dropped them. I believe this one retails for $15 at Ulta. And again, that is the I can't even talk, you guys. Neutrals versus Neutrals. Like I said, it retails for $15 and you can get that at Ulta. Let's see, I thought I had another smaller Makeup Revolution palette. I do. Okay. This is their Death by Chocolate palette from Makeup Revolution. Okay, so a lot of people call the Makeup Revolution palette a dupe for the Too Faced chocolate bar, but I think there's a lot of differences between these two palettes, and I'll show you what I mean. Let me get the chocolate bar palette, and we're just going to open these up. I'm going to lay them side by side for you guys to see. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay. I mean, yes, they're similar, but dupes, I don't think so. In my opinion, the pigmentation is very different. The colors are different. You do have some similar colors in here, but for the most part, just the layout of the palette is similar. But I would not think that this is a complete total dupe, because in the Too Faced one you have a definite pink and purple. You do not have those colors over here. So I like them both. They have their own unique colors. Like in the Makeup Revolution one, this is like a cream color, and the one over here is more like a mauve light pink color. So you get more of your plum tones over here. You have one or two in this one, and then you get more green. Looks like more green tones. You only have one over here, but I don't think that's a green. I think it's more of a charcoal gray maybe in the corner over here. So I mean, they're similar as far as the packaging goes, I would think. because they both have the chocolate on them. But as far as being dupes, I would not call this one a dupe for this one by any means, guys. So, but there you go. That's those two palettes. And let's just go right on into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This one's wonderful to have. Yes, I've used it big time, as you can see. The colors in here are awesome. They are very pigmented, very good for fall. I love using these reds. What's that one? The Love Letter, the Red Ochre, and the Venetian Red. Those are my favorites in this palette. I've done all kinds of looks with this one. So, yeah, one of my favorites for sure. And then this is the very first high-end. Some people say that Urban Decay is not high-end, that it's mid. But I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. To me, Urban Decay is more like a higher end product. And as you can see, this palette has seen better days, you guys. It is so messed up, like, yeah. But I still use it. It's still a good palette. I dropped it and my black kind of crushed. So I'm out of black down there a little bit. And then some of it has fallen up here. But as you can see, I've hit pan on many of these colors. Like, this was my go-to palette for a very long time. Yeah, I loved this palette, and every color, every look that I did was with this palette for a long time. So this for sure is one of my favorites. It will always be, oh, one of the shadows came out. It will always be at the very top of my favorite shadow palettes is this Naked 2. One of my favorites right there, you guys. Okay, so next up is this Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. This is a wonderful palette to have in your collection. It features many colors in here. You have a few shimmer shades, some mattes, some glitters. These are beautiful colors. You have colors in here that you can use for a light eye look, or even a dark nighttime look as well, with your fall plums and blues, and it looks like a dark green, dark brown. Perfect for any time of the year. The blendability is great on these palettes. The payoff, the pigmentation is wonderful as well. I really enjoy using this palette every time I get it out and use it. It's just a joy to do. Another great benefit to this palette is that it smells like peaches. I bought mine a while back when it first came out, so yes, the smell of peaches has died down a little bit. It's not as strong as it was when I first purchased the palette, but you can still smell them. And so I just love the packaging. The eyeshadows in here are good quality. So yeah, it's just a great overall palette. Okay, this is by Inglet. And this palette was given to me by my daughter as well. And it has a magnetic case. Beautiful colors, but again, it is not something that I would use for everyday use, with the exception of this one. I just don't wear bright, bold colors like this. This one's a great highlighter or corner, inner corner, or even on your lid shimmer color. The rest of these would be good for Halloween looks or for a special occasion, something like that. But for the most part, I don't use this palette a lot. It's a nice palette and it's very expensive. You can get this from the Inglet.com. They have the Freedom system, and I believe each one of these shadows is like 12. I want to say $8 to $12 a piece, depending on what formulation you get, what size you get, and what colors you get. So this palette right here, I think I added it up one day, and it would end up costing almost $200 just for these 10 shadows. So yeah, I don't want to pay that much for my eyeshadow, you guys. It's kind of pricey for me, but they're really good pigmentation, really good quality. So Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. This is the Morphe Kathleen Lights palette. This is one of my very first Morphe palettes that I ever purchased. It's got some great colors in here. Most of these, well, looks like all of them have some kind of shimmer to them. So again, I would normally just use this for my lid colors. I cannot put shimmer shades in my crease. I've seen people do it and it looks fine on them, but my eyes are aged. So I do have some, you know, skin there that it accentuates the wrinkles and stuff in the eye area, and I just don't like wearing shimmers in my crease. So inner corner and on the lid for a pop of shimmer there, these are great for that. But for everyday all around color, you could not use this palette. I can't. But it's a nice little palette from Kathleen Lights and Morphe. Okay, so this is the Interstellar by Kat Von D. It's very shiny, so I'm going to try to keep the light from hitting it so much. But to show you guys, it's beautiful packaging. Let's see here. It's got some great colors in it. Lots of purples and grays. A couple of taupe colors in here. And I'm assuming these can be used for, I would think that this would be a good powder color. I would not use this as a bronzer or anything. It's a good shadow color. It's a shimmer shadow color. I think all of those would be nice as a shadow color, but to use it for anything else, no, I would not. So, but it's a nice palette. I've used it a couple of times now, and the pigmentation's really nice in it. The blendability's excellent. Kat Von D does a good job in her products as far as getting it to where the formulation is very creamy, very smooth. I have not gotten her new palette yet, but her color choices are a lot darker than what I like. So, but she does a good job with the shadows, I think. So that's that palette. And then this is the Lorac Pro. This was like the very first one they ever came out with, I think. I've used a couple of shadows in here a couple of times. It is not one of my favorite go-to eyeshadow palettes, simply because I have so many others to choose from. This one was just a spur of the moment purchase just to try out, because I had never tried a Lorac palette before, and they're okay. Their pigmentation's good. Their overall color payoff is decent. They're a little powdery. Some of them are, but some of them aren't. So, I mean, I guess it just depends on what colors you choose. They're not that bad, though. There's really not a lot of fallout with these or anything. I just have so many other palettes to choose from, so I don't reach for this one a lot. But it is a nice palette, and I do enjoy using it when I do pull it out and use it. So, alright, so next up, this was given to me by my youngest daughter. It's the Naked on the Run, and I loved this palette. When she first gave it to me, I was so excited. There was a black Perversion eye pencil in here. I don't know what happened to it. I've used it and misplaced it somewhere. But yes, I've used these. It's a great travel palette, because you get your highlighter, blush, bronzer, and then you also have several eyeshadows here. You have 3 shimmer looks and 2 mattes. You have your lip color, your mascara, and then there was an eyeliner in here. So this is a great palette to take traveling with you. Very, very, very versatile. You can create several looks with this. So I liked it. I've used it, and great pigmentation, great color payoff. It's a nice palette to have if you travel a lot. So, and then next up is another Urban Decay palette. This one was also given to me by a beautiful YouTuber. named Luscious Tony XO. Before I began my YouTube channel, she was having a giveaway on her channel for this palette, and I entered and won, and I was so excited. I wanted this palette so bad. It's just beautiful. I love the colors. I love the pigmentation, the formulation. The style of the palette is just gorgeous. It's very well put together. This is the one that Gwen Stefani came out with Urban Decay. I love her, and I just knew this was going to be a great palette. This palette you can create so many looks with, you guys. You have your browns, your grays, your plums, your blues, your pinks, golds, shimmers, highlighters. I mean, every color you can think of pretty much to create a fabulous daytime, nighttime, anytime look is all right here. And it's a compact palette. It's very heavyweight. Got a very nice sturdy mirror in the top of it, so it's so beautiful, you guys. So beautiful. I love it. This midnight color right here, I think it's called Danger. It's like a midnight blue. It's a foiled color. Let me show you guys. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the color of that one. It is beautiful. I absolutely love this palette. I reached for it many times when I first got it. I don't reach for it as much anymore, simply because I do have so many others that I'm trying out right now for my channel. But I was so thankful that I won this and was able to try it out. It's one of the best palettes that I have in my collection. I absolutely love it. So, and then next up is going to be this Too Faced Natural Love palette. You guys know, if you guys have watched my channel from the beginning to now, I have talked about this palette so much. I have used it so much. This was like my holy grail palette for the longest time. But yeah, beautiful colors in here. The packaging is phenomenal. You have shimmers, you have foiled looks, you have duochrome, you have mattes, you have glitters, you have every kind of eyeshadow in here that you can think of, from lightest to dark, daytime to nighttime, anytime. This is just a beautiful palette to have, and I love it. It's one of my most favorites. It was a little pricey at $59, but for what you get, it's very well worth that money, you guys. This is the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition by BH Cosmetics. Beautiful packaging. You get your bronzers, highlighters, eyeshadows. You have some mattes and some shimmers in here. These are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful colors. The pigmentation is fabulous, and these sell for $22.50 at Ulta or at bhcosmetics.com. If you don't have this palette, I would suggest getting it. It's a great one to have in your collection. When you combine this palette with the Jaclyn Hill by Morphe, yeah, you can come up with some crazy, crazy badass looks with these two palettes. So that's that one. And then, since I just mentioned the Jaclyn Hill palette, which I just did a giveaway with one of these on my channel, this is the best palette I have ever had in my life. And as you can tell, it is greatly used, you guys. It is dirty. It has been used, and it will continue to be used. It has great fall colors in there, spring colors, winter colors, warms, cools, splashes of purples and blues and teals and greens and just plums and blacks, and you've got your foiled shadows, duochrome, shimmer shades, mattes. I mean, everything is at your fingertips in this palette right here. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palette. Love the formulation, love the pigmentation. The blendability is bar none the best I've ever seen. I love this palette, just cannot say enough about it. I don't care for Morphe's customer service, as I've said many times before. However, this palette right here is the best. And now they sell these in Ulta. So if you were not wanting to get this from Morphe because of their customer service, or because of their, fear that it would be broken in shipping like a lot of their stuff is, you can get this from Ulta. You can go straight into the store and pick this up. They have 300 select Ulta stores that are carrying Morphe products right now. So go to Ulta.com and search for stores that carry the Morphe palettes. So there you go. And then another Morphe palette that I have. This was actually, I think, my second or third palette that I bought from them. I think this is my second one before I got the Jaclyn Hill. I got the Kathleen Lights, and then I bought this one, and then the Jaclyn Hill. But this is their, I don't remember, oh, this is the 35N. 35N. These are all mattes. Perfect for your transition colors, for your crease colors. Building up that outer corner to darken it up a bit with all of these down here. Just a beautiful, overall beautiful palette. I love it. So, and I think this was $23. But I like it. And then my most recent Morphe purchase, which I just posted a video of it with swatches and stuff of this palette. And this is the 352 palette. This has pretty much the same formulation as the Jaclyn Hill palette. Some of these are a little powdery on the matte colors, but they're not bad at all. For the price that you pay, you really get a lot for your money. There's 35 shadows in here. I believe there's 21 mattes, and then the rest are foiled and shimmers. So you really get your money's worth. This is $23 for this palette, and the color payoff is phenomenal. The blendability is superb. If you don't have this, I would suggest you get on over to Ulta and pick one up because it is worth it. Morphe has revamped their packaging. It's a lot heavier, a lot more sturdy. It's thicker. It's just a way better quality packaging than before. So I really do appreciate that they're doing that, and their formulation has changed drastically. So yeah, I love this palette. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so now let's move into some holiday palettes that I've picked up through the years. The very first one I want to talk about, this is one that people ask me about the most when I show this palette. This one right here is by Tarte, and the front of it is like this. The packaging is what sold me, you guys. The packaging on this is just beautiful. I will have to look up the name. I can never, ever, ever remember the name of this palette. And it doesn't have it on here anywhere. There's absolutely nothing. But I'll list it below so that you guys will know what it is. And I'll put the name of the palette on the screen here somewhere so that you guys can see the name of it as well. Let's see if I can get a good shot of these colors. Beautiful colors, beautiful pigmentation. You have shimmers, you have foils, you have mattes, you have glitters. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What came in here was their Lights, Camera, Lashes mascara, and then an eyeliner. But I use those a lot, so they're over on my vanity. And then there's a mirror in here as well. Then you get the smaller palette in here. It has your blush, your bronzer, your highlighter, and a couple of other eyeshadows. This is great for traveling. You can put everything in here and zip it up and go out the door with this palette right here. I absolutely loved it. It was $59 and limited edition, and I love limited edition stuff. I don't know why, but I just feel like I have to have it. So I did. I ran out and got this a couple years ago for Christmas. And then another palette of theirs that was a limited edition is this paint palette. I don't remember the name of this one either. I'll have to link everything below and list it all out, or put the names up on the screen for you guys to see. But this one is another full face palette. Oh my gosh, look at those colors, you guys. Look at those colors. You have all your blushes, bronzers, and highlighters over here. Then right here's a mirror. You get the mascara, eyeliner, and some lip product. So just a beautiful, beautiful palette. It's great for traveling. Pigmentation is absolutely stunning. I'm going to show you guys this one right here. It's called First Impressions, and it's another blue, but it's like a darker black blue with the glitter. So right here, It's not as pigmented as the other color that I showed you guys, but it is a beautiful color. Let me see if I can show you this one. It's called Hot Mama. Hot Mama. And it's a beautiful shimmer glitter as well. These are buildable, so you can build them up. I just love Tarte. Their formulation's beautiful. You get a lot for your money with them, and I think that I love them. I just love them. This is so cute. The packaging is what sells me on these a lot of times, but then when I get them home and I try them out, I find out that the formulation, the shadows are just wonderful too. So, but it has a little drawer here that pulls out, and there was a brush, like a paint brush in here, but it's over on my vanity because I use it a lot. You get your mascara, lip product, and then right here, it's like a little painter's palette. Isn't that adorable? It's so cute. And you get your blush, contour, and then highlighter right there. And then you can slide that in there. And then this is the mirror on top. And then all of your shadows are on the inside here. So, I hope you guys can see those colors nicely. Very, very beautiful colors. I've used this palette so much. See that one? So pretty. It is so pretty. I just love it. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed my eyeshadow collection. And if you want to see more videos like this with the collections of certain makeups that I have, just let me know. Have a great rest of your day. Be good to yourself and each other, ladies. Bye.